YouTube. Oh,
YouTube, okay.
think we're live.
Yeah.
I think we're live. Okay. Hello, guys. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today we have the breaker of narratives, Dom Lucre, to talk about really the satanic secrets going on. Oh, started playing on my other screen. Just the satanic secrets going on in Hollywood. Because if you guys follow him on Twitter, he's constantly exposing these people. So I'm happy to have him on. And of course, I have my wonderful husband on because I shouldn't be allowed to speak unless he's present.
This is true.
This is true. All right. So, Dom, thank you so much for coming on. You are the first person ever to come on my YouTube channel to live stream. Yes. Okay. So, Josiah, did you want to say anything?
Yeah. So we recently saw Tyrese Gibson. I don't know if you saw that clip from what did you think about that?
I can play it real quick if you want me to.
Yeah, play it.
We'll play it so the audience can see it first. Okay.
As much as I'm supposed to be promoting this movie and talking about my album, I just feel like we're in competition right now because they are trying to normalize the devil. They are trying to the devil is on the main stage at award shows and in every video and signs and symbols. And I said, you know what? We need to stop treating our relationship with Jesus like the little buddy that you talk to before you go to bed at night and not be more vocal about all the things that God means to us and all of the things that God has brought us through. Because
okay, go ahead and pause it.
Moments.
You realize that like he's stumbling over his words so hard here. He says we need to talk to God like the little buddy before we go to bed and not talk to God, not talk to people about what not God has done or brought us through. Like his entire, and I don't know if that's because he's nervous.
Yeah.
But bro did not say anything correctly there.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah. He it's kind of confusing. I don't really get the little guy talking about going to bed too. I don't really get what he mean by that.
Yeah, that's sucks.
Like just for prayer, I guess. Like we need to talk to God more than just prayer once a day. I'm guessing, like before we go to sleep, I suppose.
Yeah, the entire thing was just kind of like it was not something you'd expect to hear and be like, oh man, that's our guy. Like that's to me, it just seemed like kind of this, and you know how Black culture is. It's very, they talk about God all the time. Rappers will talk about shooting people and then, praise the Lord the next bar. You're like, how did he get there?
Why do you assume that he knows about Black culture, Josiah?
Well, I mean, he's made his entire livelihood off of Black culture.
I'm just kidding.
But Isabella, what did you think about it?
I don't know. I thought it was kind of confusing, to be honest. I thought it was a little strange the way he was talking about talking to God. But I don't know. Should we finish the full clip?
Go ahead.
Okay.
It's that you didn't post about.
Mm-hmm.
But yet how did God decide to get me through this?
Yeah, man.
And they going above and beyond to promote the devil, and it's pissing me off because the devil worshipers used to be real secretive, going down in the basement, this secret world. Now they just
they on the device too.
Yeah,
believe that. Yeah. I do want to come back and I want to talk to you about Fast 10 as well.
Okay.
Quickly, just change the subject though. I do kind of I think that part was sketchy.
Yeah. Why is he trying to change the subject? So he's talking about how back in the good old days, if you're promoting the devil, it was kind of more hush hush. And now it's just pretty much seen everywhere out in plain sight for everyone to see.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely has changed. This is a transition that definitely has happened. Well, there's record label contracts in the music business to where you can't say the word Jesus in them, but you can say Satan. Even in the promotion of Satanism, not even beyond conspiratorial, but they'll tell Black people to put in their lyrics that they're on demon times or I'm a demon or I'm a monster, but you can never put that you're on angel time. I'm angelic. I'm divine. You never hear those lyrics. It's always demonic. I'm from hell's pits. It's always these Satanist type of themes that they put inside the music, and they make it appear cool. But that truthfully is from the roots of it, Satanism. You're praising different entities that aren't godly, in my opinion. So it's Satanism from its core.
For sure. Did you ever see Kanye kind of talk about like bass and how he relates it to chakra or whatever? I think this is after he's saved too.
I don't think I've seen that. No.
Yeah,
Spoke of.
he talks about bass and how it controls, it like controls your emotions and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like, and people use strategic bass, and there's the whole 480 hertz or whatever,
But yeah,
560 hertz.
yeah. Well, the music business definitely changed it. They changed it from the God frequency, the frequency that the universe pretty much created through 432 hertz. I think which it puts us in a peaceful mood, but they changed it to one that kind of disrupts us. That makes
Yeah,
us
right.
agitated, anxiety, etc. So you'd have to actually tune your music with your music engineer to get it to 432 hertz. If not, it's going to come at the standard one that drops your frequency and vibrations.
That's crazy. I remember the first time I heard about that, and I was like, "What?" Like
Yeah,
like literally being sabotaged in every single moment. The
yes,
water's filled with chemicals. Your
indeed.
music's gonna cause anxiety. Your antidepressants lower your testosterone. Like every single aspect of everything.
It is, but it seems like most people have at least some type of standard knowledge on that. If you think of plants, I've always been told since I was a child that hey, play classical music for plants. No one really give it much thought, but it's the same concept. What's the frequency of the classical musical set? Well, that was before they changed our frequencies. It's classical. That's before it got integrated and infiltrated, and they separated it from peace. So you can play classical music because classical music was the original frequency, peace and harmony. Plants can grow in classical music, can't grow in our standard music because it's weaponized. Classical
Wow.
is peaceful, the way things work. Our standard era is everything is weaponized. Media is weaponized, music is weaponized, our food is weaponized, as you stated. But during the classical time, no, it's more peaceful. So you can play classical music for plants and it can grow. But today, not so much.
Wow,
Mm.
this is the first time I'm actually hearing this, but it makes sense as to why they manipulate us through the media, through our educational system. Why wouldn't they really manipulate us and brainwash us and disrupt us via music? And that's something that we listen to music, and even if the lyrics may not seem terrible, like you
Yeah.
guys are talking like the hertz or the bass and all these things that I'm like, okay, I've seen these words before, but I'm not like a music person, but I kind of know what you guys are saying. Without words, they can kind of manipulate the way you're thinking, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, they can, definitely. And something that shows that validates it more is called the water experiment and the rice experiment. There's two of them. And they viewed water and they said the word hate to water and they said love. And they viewed it through the microscope and it appeared harmonized, almost like a snowflake when it said water, love. But when you say hate to water, it disrupts. It doesn't even make a shape that you can distinct. But it makes you go to think, well, our bodies are about 70% of that. So when we tell each other, like when we're arguing, I hate you, or you piss me off, you feel really bad about that for a reason because your blood is disrupted by the water. So our words are
This is some Naruto stuff right here. This is some
but it's real life.
jujitsu over here.
It is, and that's the thing about media because you got to think FBI. Well, I'm sorry, the CIA was created a year apart from Hollywood. So what's real and what's fake, we really have to question. CIA was created first, Hollywood was created a year after. So we really have to question, if it be real, there's a good chance they might put it in Hollywood so you can question your own reality. You do the rice experiment, and if you write the word, you could do that right now in your own homes. If you get rice right now, get a glass jar, get some tape, write love on one, write hate on the other. I can guarantee you everything I own. The one with hate will be rotten in 2 weeks. The one with love won't rot. And that's not if you speaking to it. You just leave it. No sun. You can test it multiple different places. It'll rot every single time.
That's trippy.
We might need to test that out.
Yeah, we might need to do a short off of this and
I'm
test
skeptical.
Yeah, so through my early 20s, I tried to disprove God was real. I spent like every year trying to disprove he was real. And every time I tried to disprove him with these science experiments and things like this, like all of this is my experiences of finding there is true God and creation in life because I tried to prove it. So this is from someone that just wanted to be atheist so bad. Like I wanted to disprove he was real. And it's like, no, I'm too logical. This is like when seeing is believing. And there are plenty of different miracles that you can perform in your own household to help you believe. And it's just been taken away from the people to validate God's truth. It says Satan's greatest trick was fooling the world he doesn't exist. So things like rice experiment should be taught in school, to me.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of me, Dom, because I used to be atheist for the longest time, was agnostic like for a couple of years, basically was agnostic because I saw Michael Knowles say, because he used to be atheist and I used to watch
Yeah.
him a lot. And he said that, I one day thought, because, atheists think that they just are such know-it-alls. They're very religiously atheists, and they think
Yeah.
that they are just way too smart and way smarter than everyone else around
Mhm.
them. And so he said, I had to figure out why was it that all the people I hated are atheists and all the people I liked and aspired to be or really valued their opinions were Christians? And maybe the only reason I was an atheist was because I didn't have proof that there was God, but I also simultaneously didn't have proof that there's no God. So I was agnostic for a while. And when Josiah and me first started dating, he's very Christian. His grandpa owns a church in Arizona. So it was very crucial that, he obviously wants me to be saved because we were planning on probably spending the rest of our lives together.
Yeah.
And he was, remember Josiah, would be reading the Bible. He's like, here's all this archaeological evidence.
Yeah.
Still not clicking for you. Because I would say,
Try to show the proof.
yeah, I was like, well, there's so many books, right? Like textbooks. Remember, and this is something I would think about too. It's like I would go in school. Oh, here's a science textbook. Since it says science, I just assume that everything I'm reading is correct. But we all see how the media portrays whatever history is going on today. So how can you trust anything any book says? And I told him, I was like, honestly, the only way I can really truthfully say I believe that there's a God is for an anecdotal personal experience. So just because I needed that proof myself, because any book could really say anything.
Yeah.
And so he prayed over me and said, God, please reveal yourself to Isabella. And he left. And later that night, I was in my apartment. All the windows were closed. And there was a really strong gust of wind that freaked me out, honestly, because it was so apparent and overwhelming. But I later realized that was God actually and the Holy Spirit revealing himself to me. I know. So it was like, it's unequivocal evidence to me. Maybe someone else who's an atheist won't believe me.
Yeah.
But I know that's what happened.
And that says a lot about Josiah, because one thing I don't want to say like God don't answer prayers, but he moved a little bit faster for those that really believe in him. You know what I'm saying? You guys know, like they say faith move mountains. If you truly ain't got faith, that mountain ain't gonna move.
Yep.
So I truly believe those that had that prayer, he believed in that moment that he would reveal himself as well. He didn't just pray it and set it up and I hope it works. I believe you left that room, and I ain't trying to put words in your mouth. You left that room, you felt like he was gonna show himself. Just faith that strong. That's very powerful, man. I'm glad you shared that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It was dope. He came.
It is.
Yeah, he delivered. And this is what I've been telling Isabella, because she's still very baby Christian.
Mhm.
So you have to kind of just deprogram her for a lot of the kind of atheist mindset or framing that she has. And I'll just sit her down and walk her through well, you're worrying right now, you're stressed right now. What comes from that stress? Well, it's a fear. Well, if you're having faith and you know that God's promises are all things work together for good to those who love him, right? And what the enemy takes away from you, he gives back twofold. Why are you stressed? Why are you worrying? And just walking through kind of, okay, we need to reframe this, because you need to seriously wear your faith. And that's the only way you'll make it through this, through this world, through these times, is you have to put on the armor of God,
Yeah, man, you do. Yeah, that's a blessing, man. I'm so glad that you guys got together. That's a beautiful thing. Seeing this, and the thing I don't like about it, so many people like atheists, like I was, and Rick and Morty was my favorite TV show because I just love the ideology of nihilism. I started to dive into nihilism. It's like it just doesn't matter, because I think it's all created by books, and books are controlled by man. And I just started learning how much everything was a lie. But then I started to think. I thought about the Bible, and I was like, the Bible is the most altered book in the world. And something clicked in my head after that. I said, well, damn, they don't touch things that, I just know about current media. They don't hide and misconstrue things unless that truth could really just destroy everything. And I was like, well, for the Bible to be the most touched book in the world, it has to be the most accurate, at least from the original source. It's no book's been touched more than the Bible, altered, pages taken or added, etc., or different type of translations. No book in the world in the Bible, and it's like it has to be relevant. And I started thinking, if it has no truth, if the atheist value really was true, then there's no way the powers that be wouldn't have touched it.
Yeah,
they ain't gonna touch things that's frivolous to them. They touch the most important things to us. I mean, freedoms, speech, and etc., or even the internet. I mean, look how the internet is controlled. But God, the Bible, They can't even compare to how much they touch the Bible. I mean, the internet can't even compare yet to how much the Bible has been altered and tampered with. So it has to be powerful. It has to have some truth. It has to have a God behind it. That's what I
Yeah.
think.
It's even crazy how they took out, even hundreds of years ago, the extra 22 books that were in the Bible, the Apocrypha. They just ripped them out. I mean, hundreds of years ago, even before King James, like the Catholic Church just went through and took them out. And people still have never read those books to this day or even heard of them.
So yeah, just the fact that there's so many. I put it like this: when I was atheist, I was like, man, there's so many fairy tales that's never touched. So many fairy tales that we can look at as ancient and it stays true to this day. That we can remember, like Hansel and Gretel, something like that. It's some ancient fairy tales that comes back from some very, very ancient folklore times, and they won't be touched. I was like, the Bible, they say that's fairy tale, but why do they alter it then? Why do you have to, you don't have to alter Star Wars? You don't have to alter these other ones. If it's just such a great fairy tale, why do you have to alter it?
That's such a good point.
You don't touch
that
other books. It has to be power behind it. Like I try to look at it in the most logical sense. And I was like, man, just logically, God has to be real. And then I just looked at universe and how everything, like the golden ratio, things like that, how everything has this specific ratio. I was like, there's no way this isn't intricately created. You'd be crazy. Everything else in the world is randomized. We can see it almost has no structure, no identity. But for everything to have a golden ratio, we all have an identity that is unified. That's intentional. There's no way that could be random.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like this is back into the topic of Hollywood. This is why they don't want God and Jesus in Hollywood. So Dom, I wanted to ask you, like, if you had to pick, like, we're going to go over some of your favorite Hollywood celebs to expose, but like number one right now on your mind, who do you want to expose? Who deserves to be exposed the most? Like the biggest criminal in Hollywood?
That's a lot.
I know it's a lot.
Leor Cohen might be one of them from 300 ENT. He's pretty bad. Yeah.
Who is that? I don't even know who that is. I don't know a lot of celebrities.
Yeah, a lot of people might not know him. He's the executive of 300 ENT.
So maybe.
What is 300 ENT?
A record label, but he's had his hands in almost every label there is. Either him or Lucien Grange, the owner of Universal Music Group. Lucien Grange is pretty bad too.
Did you hear about Sony's old CEO? What's his name? Tommy. He was just leaked on the Epstein fly list to the island.
I didn't see about it, but don't surprise me at all. No, because the music business is hand in hand with that more than anyone. You hear about casting couches in Hollywood, it's tenfold in the music business.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, and maybe that's why they kind of put the spotlight on, casting couches to kind of make our attention make us not pay attention to the actual problem.
Yeah. Well, music has been proven to be a little bit more influential than movies. So they would put a large emphasis on the propaganda for musicians specifically. There's a lot of propaganda in music on all cultures. They're all owned by the same labels. So there's no real control. They all are being dictated by the same executives. They're controlling different cultures, different genres, different sets of people, different races, different age groups, all of them.
Yeah. So would you say when do you think that it really started to turn around? Like, do you think that it was majority from rap culture? Before that,
90s, the 90s when this transition happened, yeah, because hip hop got to make a transition from being kind of poetic theme, but to being more gangster rap through Tupac, and he got a thug life tattoo and went to jail and everything like that, and become number one rapper. So it shows the people that's aspiring rappers to reach number one. I need to resemble what number one is, and aspiring rappers want to be like Tupac. Then every kid want to be like aspiring rappers. Every kid want to be a thug. But it's just
for sure. And I mean, eventually it came and it took over the all races. Like, I'm sure it maybe used to be more of a black culture thing, but now, I just got out of high school 3 years ago, and every white kid that's chubby and not a gangster and parents make $120K a year is like gang sign, wants to sell drugs, wants to take the parents' strap out, like trying to be a gangster. And it's funny to see, but it's society. Culture.
It's a choice to downgrade society as a whole, but I hate to say it, they'll test it all on blacks first. They'll test it on blacks first because they're a minority. They always do. They'll test like they do the shots or anything. They test it on the blacks first, and then they push it to the rest of the Americas. So 1950s, like black people were by ratio, there were more of them employed. There were more of them that were married than baby mothers. They actually had the highest dollar in America at that time. But 1964, we see the civil rights movement, a huge downturn. And the projects were created shortly after. Majority of black people start moving into projects. They lost that sense of community, and they lost their towns and their banks. No more black ownership. They had nothing to believe in. And they gave them something to believe in, which was gangster rap. They said, we'll take this from you, give you something else. And you see they're doing that with every other civilization in America. They're taking and taking and taking from American people. They're simply just doing what was already done. They have to test it first. They knew it worked so well with us. So just do it with everyone else. And it's working well. We see it through the Hispanic, even Asians. They're Asian gangbangers, bro. I mean, I'm not even being racist.
Are these at massage parlors?
Like just being like, what the hell? No, trips, bro. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's racist to say that. It's not, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, but honestly, if I were to pick a race out of all the races that is least likely to be involved in gang banging, it's going to be Asians.
Yes, and they're banging. They are.
Wait. Not gang. Okay, a gang banger and gang banging is different, Isabella.
No,
wait, hold on. What are we talking about? Here's my woman moment.
Bro, Asians are banging in gangs in at least St. Louis and Los Angeles, and that's just crazy to me. It's like, man, America is wow. I'm just saying, I ain't know way it was like that in the past. I feel like America
gangbangs the world, honestly. But we do have some people in the chat. We have Fanobos from LFA TV. Shout out Fanobos. Happy to see you here. He likes you, Dom. He says, I love Dom. I'm showing it right here. I don't know if you guys can see. But we also have thoughts of a woman here. That's a great Twitter account. And she said, and that's what happens why God is no longer a part of our society. The young generation has no wisdom or anyone to truly guide them. So they turn to the world for guidance and acceptance, which is true. And they turn to music and they turn to all these other mediums that, these people, the devil is really persuading us through that they don't even know what's actually happening.
And it's unfortunate. You'll see things like, not to call out Lil Durk. He just dropped the album, the rapper Lil Durk. And
trash.
Thank you. So he's been dropping albums and stuff, and now he's just saying he done changed up his brand. It's all gangster. Who knows how many people done died being influenced from it, but it is what it is. I was in hip hop, so I'm not going to act holier than thou. But what is important, what's crazy to me, is the fact every single rapper, when they say I'm cleaning up my act, they go meet up with a politician. Always a Democrat politician that's destroying their cities already. So they're truthfully not cleaning up their act. They just transitioning from being a corrupt rapper to a corrupt businessman. Like they never truthfully seek out and find better solutions for their communities. It's an endless cesspool of ignorance that is being promoted. So you have all these kids that's young and they follow rappers, and then they grow up with a rappers and say, well, my rapper's not pushing politics, he's getting in politics. They're going to end up pushing Democrat ideologies and politicians themselves because the rapper's doing so. It's a false illusion of control that they're giving the black community, a false illusion of freedom. They're not really having freedom of choice. Okay.
Hey, and I don't know if you know this, but there's that track All My Life. Did you hear that?
With J. Cole?
Yeah, with J. Cole, right? And grew up, loved J. Cole. When you listen to it now, you understand that is a religious anthem. All my life.
Yeah.
They've been trying to bring me down. It's like, who's they? This is the question, right? Who's they, though? Who's they? And it's like, who is they, though? Oh, it's the white people. It's the patriarchy. It's the government. It's the establishment. It's everybody.
It's the Asians.
It's the Asian gangbangers. And it's like, this is a religious anthem where all these people are listening to this day in, day out. They've been trying to bring me down. They don't even know what it means. They've been trying to bring me down. They just say it, repeat it, keep it going, and then it's crazy.
And the more they repeat it, the more people believe it to be true because they hear it. Yep.
It just normalizes. And then as soon as they say, "Oh, it's who's they?" Yeah, it's white people. Then they just go, "Oh, all my life."
Seriously. It keeps you in a defeatist mindset. It does keep you in a defeatist mindset because it'll automatically absolve any of your own failures, and you get to put it on someone else. On a mistake, man.
Right. Okay. So next, I wanted to talk about Megan Fox And I'm sure, Dom, you've seen this, her blood drinking ceremonies with Machine Gun Kelly. I do have a video that I can
Wait,
play.
hold on.
Yeah.
Dom posted a picture of Megan Fox
Yeah.
half naked, and how many likes did it get on
Let
Twitter?
me see. I asked them, I said, why is this news? And they made it news again.
Yeah, they made it news twice.
So I said,
It was
Megan
like
Fox uploaded this. It got 1.2 million views, 3,000 likes. But let me check the bookmarks because that's what really would be crazy. So 388 bookmarks is crazy, bro.
Yeah,
For the Megan Fox photo.
bro, what are they
She's hot.
saving that for? That's
Yeah,
some
it's
such shit,
wild.
honestly.
It's wild stuff, man. So she went viral. She broke Twitter for just uploading a photo of her body.
That's crazy.
Well, she is a very good looking girl, but she does drink blood and she dresses her sons as women or as girls.
That right there is just crazy to me.
Yeah. So here, let me play this little video. Kind of explains what she does for the viewers.
I was like, whatever you say, Daddy, whatever Daddy says.
Megan Fox is not shy about her passion for fiance Machine Gun Kelly, which the pair apparently expressed with blood drinking ceremonies. Yeah, like vampires.
I think it's wonderful.
The 35-year-old actress makes the confession in Glamour UK's new digital issue. She says she and MGK have different approaches to the ritual. Quote, when I do it, it's a passage or it is used for a reason. It is controlled, where it's like, let's shed a few drops of blood and each drink it. As for the rocker, Megan says he is, quote, much more haphazard and hectic and chaotic, where he's willing to just cut his chest open with broken glass and be like, take my soul.
I haven't done anything like that.
This is
Yeah. Okay. So, it kind of freaks me out to think of MGK like slicing his body open for this. It's really gross. But Dom, what do you think about this?
So that situation is a lot different than I feel. Just what they got going on is a lot different than the whole Pizzagate theories, what those allude to, like the Turner thing. Because I feel like they're in some, just as a couple, they're in some weird stuff, man. I don't know. I do feel like she has. Didn't she once admit to doing some type of witchcraft or something though before? I gotta make
Probably. I don't know.
I mean,
though.
that's her admitting to it right now.
I think she said something. Yeah, the blood drinking, that's a blood ritual regardless though.
Yeah.
To cut a wound open, even if they knowledgeable of it or not, just like communion at church, that's a ritual. We might not call it rituals, but it is a ritual by definition. Christ's blood, Christ's flesh.
Right.
That's a ritual. But they are genuinely opening up flesh, like that too is a ritual. So I don't know if they're really into Satanism, but I don't really get like no type of like disturbing vibes outside of what they do is just with themselves. I really feel.
Yeah, but
Well,
why do they do it?
With them, I don't really know, because the main reason why people do it, it would be younger blood. It actually does de-age you. It's proven that just coming in contact with younger blood, if you're older, it does de-age you. So I don't really know what they would gain from each other. Don't she say she drinks each other's blood, ain't it?
Yeah.
That's like one of the first I've heard that, honestly. People drinking each other's blood, truthfully. It's normally someone younger. Like, you don't really hear that. Someone drinking each. Unless it's just very, I don't know. That's weird to me.
Guess what? So she has, let me put this up. So these are her 3 kids.
Now that right there, I have something to say about that.
Yeah. What do you want to say?
So if you think about Hollywood, and it's crazy, almost the same actors and actresses that took their children, went down to Africa and virtue signaled for Africa and Haiti in the past, now their children are turning into opposite genders. Well, my question is to Hollywood, why did they all start going to Africa? Because that's the theme to virtue signal at the time. So now the theme is, oh, my child is so brave. There is nothing these people won't do to keep themselves in the eye of the public. They get sponsorships and things like this for their children becoming gay. The same thing as they did with going down to Africa. They never cared about them African children. That's why they went down to the poorest villages. God, those villages they showed still are that way because they are indigenous villages. That's a lot of things they won't tell. They refuse to change their ways.
Yeah.
Right.
On an illusion of, it's just, this barren land, which a lot of it, there's some that is, but it's a false perception of reality just to be able to profit off of virtue signal. And it's the same thing happening now. I don't see celebrities going to Africa, but I see all of their children changing genders.
Yeah.
It's the same type of celebrities doing it, like the Angelina Jolies, etc. It's strange. The same ones that went down to Africa, their children are now changing genders, or if they're newer, after the African children died, you just see now the transition to genders. But there is, if you look into it, a lot of celebrities that went down a virtue signal with Africa and Haiti, Their children are now transgenders, and I don't think it's random. I highly doubt that.
That's interesting. I
I
like
highly
that.
doubt
So,
it.
so for all the viewers, these three will look like girls are three sons of Megan Fox. And what's interesting, I totally agree with you. It's just like the newest hot way to virtue signal. And my high school actually my Catholic high school sent people to, like, students could sign up to go to Haiti and like rebuild houses or whatever. But what I always noticed, I was like, oh, it's always the bitches that want to post Instagram photos of them building a freaking house in Haiti. Like, that's all it is. That's all it is. And I could never wrap my head around it. Or it looked good on a college application too. It went to Haiti. Here's some Instagram photos. Look, I'm building a little hut.
And they stopped going. 2023, who's going to Africa and Haiti with the little small African child with a pot belly? They're still down there. They're still
They're still homeless. They're still starving. They need your help.
Yeah, because you can't fix this shit. Like, it's just the truth.
Maybe they need to go there and turn them all trans. That's what they probably want to do next.
It's crazy. It's just virtue signaling. And God only knows what's after turning your child to the opposite gender. It's nothing they won't do to stay in the public eye.
Yeah.
Well, back to
do with children. Because you see a lot of pedophilia claims happen to when we seen celebrities did go down there and create organizations. A lot of these organizations, children went missing. So it's like it's always linked through children with Hollywood, to me.
Yeah.
They need a blood source.
Yeah.
For their young regeneration for their skin.
Yeah.
And something I've kind of always noticed too is that it goes kind of in America culture. I think it goes number one, Hollywood, number two, politics. And it's kind of like people shoot for Hollywood and they kind of don't make it land somewhere in politics, right? And then people are up there in Hollywood and then they fizzle out and they somehow make it back into politics. You see that with like
and I think that
Alyssa Milano and them too.
It validates Hollywood's connection with the CIA, to my opinion. It really does.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, because it's, the correlation between politics and Hollywood is this sexual depravity, and specifically towards children. But I mean, you see it with LGBTQ and stuff too, but mostly with children. You see a bridge between Jeffrey Epstein and who is it? It's celebrities, and then it's politicians who are going to the island. It's like there's the merger there, what ties those two together, and ultimately it's like CIA, pedophilia, elite, untouchable people.
Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein actually flew Chris Tucker and Bill Clinton down to Africa, I think in 1998. So it's a long line.
Yeah.
Of connection.
Okay, so we have some people in the chat. So Borgist keeps asking me why I won't respond and why I won't let my kid listen to Queen, which I never said that. But yeah, isn't Queen gay? My kid is not listening to a gay artist. That's right, Josiah. Ask the man, the husband here.
Yeah, no Queen.
Yeah, no Queen.
Hey, I just learned something. I gotta look it up. Let me see.
I think he's gay.
Yeah, I never knew that.
I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm making that up, but I think he's
I don't
gay.
listen to him that much though. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, right?
His name is Queen. Of course he's gay. What is happening?
Yeah, he's definitely gay. I'm looking at this. This is Queen. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Thoughts of a Woman said, this is so true. I assume this is a woman, by the way. The emasculation and feminization of men has always been the plan. Weak minds are easier to control. And what these adults are doing to their children is evil. And something I was thinking about, so true, girl, so true. What I was thinking about with Megan Fox is, maybe she does drink her kid's blood, but she's not going to go out and say that in public.
Yeah, that would be so horrible. I hope not, though. But yeah, that's so true. I mean, it's plausible shit. Especially when you just had the Blood Boy, that the guy who recently had made Pay Strip, I forgot what is it, or Paytree, the creator of Paytree, and he just said he uses his son as his blood boy and uses his son to keep him beautiful. 45-year-old man.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I posted that recently. Let me see. He calls himself the Blood Boy. And this dude spends like $1 million or so a year to maintain his youth. Let's see. So yeah, Brian Johnson, 45-year-old founder of Braintree Payment Solutions, which also owned Venmo, sold his companies to PayPal in 2023. For $800 million, Johnson just revealed that he spends $2 million per year to retain youth, and he uses his teenage son as what he calls his teenage blood boy. And that's the article. Yeah. So strange.
What?
So it's
That is
people are coming
strange.
out about it publicly though. Beyond to where it's not conspiracy at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, we're starting to see that kind of everything just cave in, even with all of these UFOs coming out, where it's like aliens, and I mean, like you said, CIA and Hollywood so close together. I mean, all you need is 80 years to build a freaking UFO
Yeah,
and to create tons of CIA evidence within the past 20, 40, 50, 60 years of you doing test runs of the UFO, taking a photo and acting like it was an alien.
yeah.
I mean, there's so many conspiracies that Hollywood's kind of painted up that are starting to come true. Even the ones on the other side of the spectrum where you're like adrenochrome,
Yeah.
and all the and speaking of adrenochrome, I saw you posted the Harvey Weinstein and the Oprah, and specifically, I don't even know if you can say this word on YouTube, the P gate,
Yeah.
and how that was the only thing she denied, which
It's
is
her.
weird.
Yeah, and the thing is, it goes a little deeper with that. I didn't dive into it. Oprah's entire account is ran by a team, and it was show because it was showing like where it was tweet. It'll show the syndication or the tweet from like tweet from Web, etc. This was the only time it ever showed a tweet from my phone, sent from my phone. Like this is the only time she ever grabbed her phone and accessed her Twitter ever. So
Oh wow.
it's wild. She tweeted that from her iPhone. The other ones was just syndicated through her team, like automatic, whatever, just business
Right.
standard, her PR team or whatever. But she actively got on there and addressed it herself.
So why do you think that is? Because the virtue signaling against how bad Pizzagate was, and
It
she's
was, it was
bringing
hot.
attention?
Pizzagate was so hot at that time, though. I ain't gonna lie, it was hot. But it's to me, it ain't the first time Oprah's been under scrutinization. I mean, they had a dead the rights to find a dead baby in a trash can at a school before, so she's been under scrutinization before. The Pizzagate, well, the conspiracies with that, I feel it's just as bad as the thing she had before. So it's really strange for me for her to address it if everything is 100% false, because she's had things that come out to be true that she's addressed before and spoke on it, like the abuse at her school. Spoke on it twice. Had abuse in 2007, 2011, and other years, and she spoke on it and addressed it. But for her to address this publicly on Twitter, she's never done that.
Mm,
Never. It's always been through the media or officially, but she's never went. She ain't go to the media for this. She just went to it on Twitter, as if she had to hurry up and make a refute. Also,
interesting.
she was panicking. She didn't have it syndicated. She couldn't wait for those next 2 weeks for them to go through the edits and clean it up, etc. To make it
Right.
look. She just wanted it to be as raw and fast as possible. It's strange.
That is weird. My grandpa always calls her Okra, just to diss. He calls her Okra and Dr. Filthy because he
Yeah,
doesn't like both of them. He
he
makes
has.
fun of them all the time. Just people going with their problems to go watch Oprah and Dr. Phil. It's like, what are you doing? Go to the Bible, go to church. Stop turning on these
Yeah,
TVs to get, you
looking for
know.
salvation through man.
Yep.
Sorry, I had to remove someone from the live chat because he was like spamming and being psycho. Are you guys talking about Oprah?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I figured, yeah, because I saw you on Twitter talking about Oprah, pedophile sympathizing.
yeah. It's mad.
Yeah, and then who else? You just said you wanted to expose Leonardo DiCaprio. So have you exposed him yet, or are you waiting?
Oh, he's going to get it probably after the live stream.
Oh, he's getting it.
Yeah, after the live stream. Yeah, it would have been by now if we weren't streaming. Yeah.
If it weren't for us, could you give us the viewers, a little sneak
Well,
peek?
it's just really his connections. He's connected through Harvey Weinstein, through financial advisors. So he's heavily connected to elites in the finance industries, and that includes people like Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein being a CFO, I forgot who it was specifically, but he started through finance. Leonardo DiCaprio was very cool with the Wolf of Wall Street as well. So all of the people at Wall Street, they were really close with Leo, and they used to do these cocaine invested parties and have all these strippers over and prostitutes, etc. And pretty much to this day, he parties with the elites of Wall Street. So his connections with those are pretty wild.
Mm.
It's really his elite connections with Wall Street and how they tie back to the Weinstein and Epstein.
Yeah, I think honestly, the worst people in America today are those that are the elites. Like these are the
Yeah.
worst people in America.
They They got us living in false division. So there's nothing worse than that.
Speaking of false division, it was kind of funny whenever we put out that tweet
Yeah.
of dear Dom Lucre, I am going to expose you. Because, bro, you tweet these out, and it's so funny because it's like a weird like blue ball because you're waiting for like this exposing to
Yeah.
happen, right? And you scroll through, you're like, Oprah, like this is gonna be good. This is
Yeah.
Leonardo,
Yeah.
and then you're just, but you see it and it blows up. It'll be at 40, 20,000 likes, and you're like, people are just waiting. They're like,
And then the crazy, the
waiting.
higher it gets, it raises the expectation because you guys create content too. So it's like, bro, when people do that, it's like your expectations are so high.
Yeah.
It takes me a little bit long to even bring it. It's like I got to make sure this is at least original or something. It's gonna be worth it. Because I might have some. It's even been times where, man, I wasn't even gonna speak on this till about the winter. But dang it, I'm blowing up so hot. I got to give it to him now.
Yeah.
So it's
That's
like, yeah,
funny.
Oprah blew up so much, man. I had put in, did almost everything there is to talk about with her. There's only about 6 or 7 more tweets, but Oprah truthfully could get a thread of her own. She's one of the few.
Yeah.
She could get a thread.
Dude, you're almost at 500K probably in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, that'd be amazing, man.
Yeah,
That's
you
insane.
grew really fast. Congrats to that. But by the way, so here's the tweet. Dear Dom Lucre, you have been chosen to be exposed. We did as a little troll. Because we like to stir the pot on Twitter. It's fun. And then I also noticed Kaylee Campbell had to respond and say, please proceed because any conversations I've had with him have given me literal brain aneurysms.
Yes.
We were just laughing about that.
Can't please everyone.
You can't. You certainly cannot. I've learned that.
Well,
have you got? Yeah.
I think it's funny because she's pregnant, and Isabella, you're pregnant, and
Mhm.
talking to you is very difficult because you forget so much so quickly.
It's
from
true.
your
It's true.
pregnancy brain fog, and I think she's just like probably in the same exact boat where she has the brain fog, but she's unaware,
Yeah.
and so she just like, it's funny.
She's always so mad. The most unfortunate thing, I have, more blue, the Gen Z conservatives and all, but somebody actually added her in a group without me recruiting her. They added her in my group. I didn't know that. And she made a refute about me complaining when I had got kicked out of what was it? It was a debate they had with Harry Sisson that we helped set up using more blue. And I didn't know who she was. And she just constantly was disrespecting me in a chat. And I booted her out of it. But the problem was she didn't know me. I didn't even know she was in my group. It's like, hey, there's things I'm talking about in this chat that's not even allowed on the front of Twitter. I didn't even know you were in here. You weren't even supposed to be in here. I'm supposed to be recruiting you, and I'm supposed to verify you. So she wasn't even supposed to be there from the get-go. It was nothing wrong. It was like, I don't know who brought you here. I apologize for that. And I found out who did it. And the person who brought her in got kicked out as well. So it was like there's a straight security risk. Like, bro, you're not even in my group. But
right.
Disrespect. But I tell you, the thing that people that hate you, she was one of the first people to find the post. They will look for information. She might have post notifications on about me and all. The people that hate you, they will see you to the end faster than anyone else will. They'll follow you to the very end. Your followers won't. But the ones that hate you, they'll follow you to the very end because nothing is more pleasurable to cowards than to watch a strong man fall. It is enjoyable. So they're going to wait for that because it doesn't look believable. So if they can see the impossible happen, they want to be the first to witness it.
Right. Yeah. So have you engaged in any big Twitter fights? I personally like to stay away from Twitter fights. I think Twitter fighting is like super immature and just like a waste of time. And like infighting, why would you ever infight? Like we need to be focusing on an election.
Yeah, I don't infight. No, I don't really too much infight. No, not at all. I'm even pretty soft on Ron DeSantis compared to most. I'm pretty soft on him. Like you might see me talk about Ron maybe once every 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Some people talk about Ron every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
In terms of infighting, no, I don't really do too much of that. No, it's self-defeating. It doesn't look good unless it's for electoral reasons. Like if you're really running against a candidate I'm supporting, then other than that, it just don't make sense unless you have a personal reason to.
Yeah, I think that a lot of times the accountability is necessary. Even with Alex Stein, I don't know if you've seen his new show at all, but Josh Lakesh would like always call out Alex Stein because Stein would dress up in drag, which is like,
I didn't know Alex was doing that, man.
yeah, he was dressing up as drag. He fed a black person a banana.
He did not just feed.
I seen that, but that's his actor though.
Hey, bro, that shit was not like, that was not cool. That was not cool. That was really gay.
Bro, that's the thing, bro. Him and that black guy literally be wild everywhere though. That's what I've kind of got so desensitized from Alex content because he's wild. He's just a wild personality.
Okay, but it was like 3 minutes long. It was like 3 minutes long of this shit.
It was wild as hell, but I can't necessarily say, you can't say it's racist, but it's wild. It's just, man, if someone's tipping the edge, you're just tipping the edge. You can't, there's nothing more or less. He tipped the edge. But I can't give him a label from it. I would think it's edgy comedy. And that was kind of standard in the 90s.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
It'd have been
Here's the thing with that, right? And this is like what I talked to Isabel about, is joking to the right, not to the left. Because joking has a sense of, like it creates structures, it creates social structures. So you kind of like hint at the truth and you joke about it, right?
Yeah.
But then you see comedy and it changed to where you would joke about fringe things that were true to kind of like, oh yeah, I don't really care if I'm gay or whatever. And it's like this self-sabotage comedy. We went and we saw some comedians recently, and like the entire thing was just talking about like my vagina, talking about and it's just like really gross. But the men there who are drinking are like, oh yeah, this is so funny. She's talking about her tits. I'm so happy. It's weird. But like I see this thing with comedians where they joke to the right. Right? They'll say something like, oh, how did you guys feel about the pandemic? Right? And that's joking to the right. Pandemic.
Yeah.
It was so fake. Oh, but then they swing, I got triple vaccinated. And then they swing far to the left. And that's because it appeals to the center, right? Because if you're swinging far left, the lefties are going to like it. If you're swinging somewhat right, the right. But you have to have that balance, right? And especially with people on the right, they need to just be joking to the right, because we have plenty of people joking to the left already.
That's the same thing, like I said, with people like, why you don't give the left no positive? You're a journalist. Why you don't give them any like positive feed like you do the right? And I was like, bro, you have so many other systems. What's wrong with just one? So I agree with that. We outnumbered in terms of comedy. So you're saying like, you really don't need to bend the knee to the left for the comedy.
Yeah, exactly. And like, you don't need to emasculate yourself to be funny. You don't need to like, you don't need to suck a banana on YouTube for a couple minutes to be funny. To me, that's called being cheap. That's a cheap comedian, because like, I mean, and you see it with your threads. Like, what a good thread is and what a cheap thread is. And when somebody else posts something cheap, you're like, that ain't what I have, right? Yeah. And there's comedians who really know how to write jokes and who really know how to articulate. Norm Macdonald, like people like this, right? Joke to the right. And then just like the vulgar, quick, like cheap. It's just cheap, It's not the same.
Yeah, it's like the graphic warning comedy. It gets a lot of views and stuff, but it seems like it'll have a little bit harder to land and last.
Right. Yeah, but the issue with it, and Josiah is the one that kind of made this point to me a little bit ago, and it makes so much sense to me, is someone like myself, Josiah, someone like Nick Fuentes, we will make jokes that are like considered far right, and then we'll have like normal everyday conservatives call us like far right extremists for simply making a joke that are more offensive. I like to make offensive jokes. It doesn't mean that I actually think these things. I just like to make offensive jokes to the right. But we're not allowed to do that without being called right-wing extremists or these crazy things. But if you joke to the left, that's funny. It's acceptable. We're allowed to do that. But God forbid you joke to the far right, then you're going to be excommunicated by your own party.
Yeah. So
And bro, like I work in the media space, so all I did was clip up Instagram clips for Blaze TV.
Yeah.
Bill Maher says something funny. Classical liberal. His idea of what the country should be like is still crap. It's still on the slippery slope. Not at all. Bill Maher says something based about transgender mutilation of children, which every single person in America should obviously be against. Yeah. Oh, based. We need to edit this. We need to put it up, right? Putin says something. Nope, you can't say it. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about that. Even though what he said was valid, but because he's more to the right, just like Bill Maher, because he's more to the left and he says something that we agree with, epic, go for it.
Yeah.
Putin, who's more to the right, he says something we agree with, nope, don't talk about him. There's a blackout. You're not allowed to do anything. So I think that that's very interesting. The people who you aren't allowed to joke about, you aren't allowed to talk about, like that's when you know the establishment is in control.
Yeah, man, and we can say that for multiple establishments in America. So I'm with you 1,000,000,000% on that statement. Yeah, they
Hey,
know who controls us. We have to question who we can't question.
yep.
Yep.
Hey, and Elon Musk deleted his tweet on Top Lobsters.
No, he didn't.
What?
Which way, Western man?
Which he did?
Do you follow Top Lobster on Twitter?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
You need to. He's really funny. Wait, he deleted his comment? That's so sad. That reminds me, Dom, I wanted to ask you, what are some of your favorite accounts on Twitter?
Oh man, I can't lie. And Cat Turd is one of them.
Really?
Yeah, Cat Turd is one. But I can't lie, man. You might think I'm lying, but yours is just because it's kind of unhinged. Like I'm kind of like I take
Hey.
a lot. So I took limits. Philip, what's his name? Philip Holtz, maybe. Is that his name?
I think I see him responding to mine stuff. Like,
Philip, he's wild.
does he have a smaller account?
Philip Oliver, yeah, it is. Philip
Okay.
Oliver, he has like 11,000. That's pretty. It's funny, but it don't mean that I'm backing everything that he posts on there. Honestly, I mean, what? Yeah, but he's pretty funny. So, what's another one I really love? Tartaria. There's one that's about Tartaria. You have that's one of my favorites. What else do we have? The AOC fan page. Well,
Oh,
AOC Press.
it's so
Yeah.
good.
Phenom for Twitter Spaces. She hosts great Twitter Spaces. My favorite liberal is Harry Sisson. I actually enjoy it. Yep, Harry's. He's entertaining to watch because it's just a ploy. That's not who he really is. He's playing a character.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
watching
for sure.
Harry's is just funny to me. It's entertaining. It's like that's nowhere near how that guy is. Like him waving his hands and all that. He doing that just to get the views.
Yeah, for sure. That's what everybody said because most of us kind of came in. I don't know where you were, but came in from like TikTok. So, we kind of like started out doing TikToks and then we would do some right-wing TikToks, get Republican Hype House or Today is America or whatever. And that's kind of like how we, got our first kind of step into the industry because TikTok's algorithm, you'd blow up and then you'd meet a whole bunch of people who are bigger or whatever.
Yeah, that's awesome. TikTok.
And Harry was kind of feuding with the Republican Hype House, all these people like at the same time a couple years ago. And we would get on FaceTimes with him or phone calls and there was supposed to be this boxing match and he's like a lovely kid. He's like a nice kid. And that's why it's so funny when he's so like red and Republicans, what are you guys going to do about this? And
it's a character, dude.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to say this. Harry is really one of the few Democrats I could see me just getting on the game with and we just cutting up, playing a game or going out. Because how he is, like, without all of that, he is normally just very intelligent, too. So he'll do all that BS. Yeah.
Do you play video games with him?
No, I didn't play him, but he'll add you on the gamer tag and stuff. He'll play with people. Let's just say he play on Warzone. I don't play Warzone on Call of Duty. But he plays Warzone pretty much exclusively. He'll play with people like Shaney and stuff. But the thing is, what I notice him with debates, bro, God, he's nothing like that in debates. He's nowhere this belligerent, young, ignorant kid that's just talking emotion. He only speaks in fact. Well, not fact. He speaks a lot of bullshit. But he speaks on citations. He's citing everything he says in his faces. I'm like, damn, this is the Harry that's waving his hands with Chris beside him. No, he'll say on this day this happened, and this was the result of that, and this was the result of that. And he say it so confidently that you'll believe like, oh, you've already lost. So he's a completely different person just from seeing that. He's intentionally want people to be disarmed. They'd be like, look at this little, F slur little guy that's gay, this and that. And he wants you to think these things about him because he's going to be like, bro, why are you being so emotional? Why are you calling me gay, bro? Did I not just cite this? He will make Republicans look like liberals because it's triggered them so much to his content. They're already pissed. Harry won't. So another thing, he won't prepare for it. He won't debate anyone if it's prepared. He has to debate you on spot. He will never agree to a debate where you have to prepare. So he wants to have the advantage of you already being pissed. That tells me everything about him. He wants you to be mad That way, when you start giving him slurs, he can say, "Well, I thought you guys weren't supposed to be emotional." Like, bro, he has it down to the T, and he really embarrassed a lot of Republicans with that because they'll be pissed. They'll be like, "You're a little gay, a little F and this. You and Chris doing this and that. I'm sure you doing this to each other." And he's like, "Bro, you can say all that, but I'm just speaking citation. No one addressing my citation." And truth is,
Right.
looking in, it's like, damn, people like he's cooking us. So he's nothing like that. He's very smart. He's one of the smart ones.
That's a smart strategy.
Yeah, he's very
Well,
smart.
he's reading articles all day.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's reading articles and making videos all day. He's just remembering this type of stuff. This is the same thing that I did whenever I was on TikTok, or that I did a couple months ago whenever I was, you know, doing articles with Blaze TV. It's just you're reading articles like crazy day in and day out. Like you start to get quick with it. So, you know, that doesn't shock me, but it is kind of funny. I like that you like the fact that he kind of gets in there and rips up some Republicans, because the truth of it is we need people like that, because there's a lot of people that shouldn't be taken seriously who are.
It is. And he's the only one. So I've spoke to many of them because I've dropped threads on so many people. I spoke to so many Democrats behind the scenes or in DMs or the big ones. And he's the smartest one out of all age limits. I hate to say it. That's how ignorant I really viewed him. Harry is truthfully one of the smartest liberals I've met. And they're just, most of them, they really don't know what the hell they're talking about. They have no own ideologies. They can't speak outside of the text messages that they get. They get talking points from text messages. That's why they all will say things. They'll speak on the same subject, just literally 2 minutes apart. It's like, oh my God, this Trump is going to jail. It's always like this every time. Like as soon as the subpoena or indictment, they say, oh, he's getting indicted. Every last one of those influencers is getting paid from Biden. They spoke on it within about 2 to 3 minutes apart. Most influencers as Democrats, they will only speak on that content. Harry can go out of that realm and create his own content. That's what makes him different. He don't have to be fed through a spoon. He is actual content creator. He can create buzz and hype around him and create talk.
Yeah.
So
he knows how to piss off the right for sure.
Yeah, most of them can't do that though. I'm saying, like, even the Cranstons, they can't do that. That's just being honest. I'm not even hating on them. They can't do that. Not what Harry can. Harry has been on all of our screens plenty of times. He has way less followers than them. That says everything about how smart he is.
Yeah, that's smart.
And he has a punchable face, though.
Yeah, it's perfect, bro. He knows
it's literally perfect.
He knows it. He knows, man. I say this is a guy that takes advantage of every single thing. Like, he's so aware. Bro, this is a self-aware guy, bro. He's very self-aware. Like, I even believe to the fact that when he be having Chris stand so close to him, he knows it looks gay as hell. He knows that's gonna give him 30 more comments.
Yeah, it's engagement.
He's maniacal, bro. Harry knows at least 30 people will say, bro, you look gay as hell. But that's 30 extra comments.
Right.
It's just how you looking at it at this point. Like, he's an engagement whore, is what you could call it. Like, he will do anything for engagement, man. Like, he does it all. I truly believe Harry is 100% straight. But I know he does allude to kind of being kind of fruity with how he started his videos. I mean, anyone can see it.
Yeah.
It's like the way you be having Chris, like, licking your lips and stuff. Like, bro, y'all know y'all look gay doing that. Come on. But they know that.
Do you think, like, beforehand they're like, okay, let's lick our lips, let's look as gay as possible, and let's get the hate engagement?
It's crazy that might sound. I genuinely believe that. That's kind of like me taking up for them. But I genuinely believe that. I genuinely believe it's that cringe. Yeah, just for me even talking to him on the back ends and stuff, it's that cringe that I think they're planning that. It's too cringe, like licking your lips and like, bro, this is the thing. Everyone gets toxic ass comments. You get it for a while, you can kind of predict what the negative shit people are gonna say about every post. Seriously.
Right.
There's no way in the hell them men, both of them men couldn't think, come on, let's be real, that you're not gonna get a lot of negative attention from both of you licking your lips, crossing your arms and looking super serious. It's cringe to the highest, like to the highest level, bro. They know that. It's like,
that's what we do. We do that with Isabella. We saturate the photos to make her more orange. She even looks oranger now. She's white as a freaking dove.
I don't know why I look so orange right now, but I need to.
Wow, I never noticed that.
I still need to be more
Italian.
orange. I am Italian.
Yeah, so that's why I always thought, because Italians, they're always like that, like oranges.
Yeah, I know.
Nah, bro. She's capping over here. It's for Donald Trump to look like orange, like
so
Trump.
funny, yeah.
Yeah.
I just automatically assume, yeah, because Italians.
Well, it actually started because I was on You Are Here and all the live chatters were saying like orange woman bad or she's
Oh,
orange.
yeah.
And so I kind of what I like to do is I adopt the critiques I get and like
Yeah.
make it my new persona. So I was like, I'm
Yeah,
the
yeah.
orange woman. And then also that's what I do. Like I'll saturate the hell out of my photos or videos and then all the comments, you're orange, you're orange, you're orange. And I'm like, great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It pisses people off too when you add in on joke.
Yeah.
It makes it just die out for them. We even seen it with the Morbius, with the Morbin time when people were cooking Morbius. It was that movie. I don't know if you guys remember. It was a movie came out last year with Marvel, and it was Morbius. Worst movie supposedly came out last year, but they trolled it to hell as soon as the producers and everyone and not Heath Ledger, I forgot what his name was. Jared Leto.
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto, yeah. As soon as he said his Morbin time, the entire meme died the same day. It's like people can't stand when you laugh with them at your own pain. They hate it.
Yeah.
They hate that shit. They hate it.
They want to see you bothered.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's disgusting, man. It's sick. It really is.
Right. Okay. Well, it's been an hour. So if there's anything else you guys want to talk about, we can always end it. Or if you guys want to add anything, I don't want to take up too much of your time, Dom.
Oh no, I host Twitter Spaces, and I don't know if you guys do. You guys have a great chemistry and things. You probably while you're doing these lives, I would start doing Twitter Spaces at the same time for people that ain't able to see it visually.
Mm-hmm.
I could give you double the engagement as well with the Twitter Spaces and the YouTube.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Because then I'll be able to join them with co-hosts and get some of my audience to look at like the live streams.
True. True. Maybe for a future one. Yeah.
Yeah, so that'd be good. Yeah, I enjoyed it though. I'll probably get down to Leonardo.
Yeah, you got to post that Leonardo. We're going to be waiting for that.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll do this another time, man. I appreciate you guys giving me the time and speaking with you.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming on for the first live stream ever.
Definitely, man. Anytime. Yeah, it's great speaking to you guys, and I'll keep in touch. You guys be blessed, man.
Thank you.
You too.
You too.
Be safe.
Okay, guys. Well.
Hi, baby.
Hi, Josiah. Hi, baby.
How did you think that went, baby?
Okay, we're still live.
I know, that's why I asked you. Don't blush over here.
Flushing. I think it went really well. It was fun. We had some trolls in the live chat, so I kind of had to like tune out and figure out how to get rid of them.
Who are the trolls? Probably the freaking trans from your
I know. Well,
Twitter post.
The guy, I assume it's a guy that was like talking about Queen and stuff, and then we had another person who was saying some racist things. That I was
about
really
Dom or what?
Yes,
so messed up.
That I was really trying not to laugh at throughout. So shout out to you.
Shout out to you.
No, not shout out to you. I was just laughing during it. But yeah, it went well. We're going to be doing like weekly streams. So I know my YouTube channel, guys, is still small, but we are growing it. And we're going to be doing more streams. Let me know who else you guys want to see us have on. Maybe Josiah and me will just do some live streams, just us.
We could do that.
So yeah, like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not a rhino.
Hey.
Okay, is that it? Okay, and we are done. We are done. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.